This week at the Dubai 1000 WTA tournament, we've seen 10 withdrawals and 4 retirements. We're not talking about unknown qualifiers here, we're talking about world number ones, Grand Slam champions, big names, elite athletes. And it raises a serious question here. Is the WTA Tour schedule completely broken? Because right now, it feels like the women's tour is being stretched to its absolute limit and the product is suffering. Let's talk about it, guys. Welcome to Tennis Chatter. This is the new tennis space where we're going to have honest, in-depth conversations about tennis. Not just match reactions, not just highlight hype, but the real issues shaping the sport. And today's topic is a big one. Is the WTA Tour pushing its players too far? So, what's happening in Dubai, guys? Dubai Tennis Championships this week, one of the biggest 1000 level tournaments outside of the Slams. The draw has been decimated. 10 withdrawals and 4 retirements. So from the withdrawals, Arina Sabalenka, world number 1, Australian Open finalist. Iga Swiatek, world number 2. Naomi Osaka, Madison Keys, Marta Kostyuk, Karolina Pliskova, Marketa Vondrousova, and a few more there. And then Victoria Mboko, Karolina Muchova, Maria Sakkari, all who played last week. And then withdrawals, retirements. Hailey Baptiste, Paula Badosa, Alina Rybakina, the Australian Open champion. This is not normal, guys. A WTA 1000 event is supposed to showcase the strongest field in women's tennis. Instead, we've seen walkovers, incomplete matches, and players clearly running on empty. They're tired, they're stressed, they want a break, guys. They want a holiday. The holiday in December, the time off is not long enough. We go from the WTA finals to the Brisbane International at the beginning of January and Hobart. That's 3-4 weeks, guys. This is not an insulated incident. This is becoming a pattern. Players are either pulling out before tournaments, retiring mid-match, or visibly struggling physically. And the timing's telling, because Dubai comes right after Doha, which comes right after the Australian Open, which starts in January, which is just after the break of 3-4 weeks. There's no breathing room at all. The schedule is relentless. So let's have a think about this. The WTA calendar now runs at full intensity from January through to November. The season starts with United Cup style events and warm-ups. Hobart, Brisbane, then straight into the Australian Open. Immediately into the Middle East 1000s, Doha, Dubai, where we are this week. Then the Sunshine Double, Miami, Indian Wells. Then clay, then grass, then the US Open Series in Cincinnati in Canada. Then Asia, then the WTA final. And here are the issues, guys. Unlike in previous eras, there are now more mandatory 1000 events. There are 21 events that women are required to enter. 4 Grand Slams, 10 WTA 1000s, 6 WTA 500s, and the WTA final, should they qualify. WTA tournament requires top players to show up or face ranking penalties. That means less flexibility, less recovery, less smart scheduling. Compare that to earlier eras when players could skip events strategically without damaging their ranking structure. Now there's pressure to play. So what's the physical cost? Women's tennis right now is more physical than ever. Look at players like Iga Swiatek, Arina Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina. The power, movement, intensity of baseline rallies. This is not like it was 20, 30 years ago. This is explosive, high impact, brutal athleticism week after week. And yet the calendar hasn't adjusted to that physical evolution. We're asking players to travel continent to continent, switch surfaces rapidly, play long 3-hour set matches, then show up again days later. Is it sustainable? I don't think so, guys. The withdrawals we're seeing, this is a warning sign, but this isn't a warning sign for let's do something 2 years from now. This is a warning sign and needs to be sorted now. I mean, the only thing that this is actually hurting is the tour, the WTA Tour. This isn't just about player welfare, although that is the priority here. It's about the product. When top seeds withdraw, fans lose marquee matchups, TV ratings drop, sponsors lose value, tournaments feel flat. I mean, remember the US Open 2021 during the height of COVID? The winner didn't play a top 10 seeded player there. I mean, that's not her fault, no, but it just shows you what happens when the top seeds don't play. Imagine buying a ticket, expecting a top 5 showdown and getting a lucky loser instead. That erodes trust. I ain't going to buy that ticket again. The WTA has been working hard to elevate its brand globally, but a diluted draw at a major event undercuts that effort. Consistency builds stars. Constant withdrawals prevent rivalries from forming, and rivalries drive sport. Imagine where we'd be without Federer, Djokovic, Nadal, Serena Williams, Maria Sharapova, Steffi Graf, Martina Hingis, just to name a few. Is it financial? Is there another layer to this? The WTA has expanded 1,000 level events to strengthen commercial value and close the financial gap with the ATP, the men's tour. More big events mean bigger media deals, larger sponsorship packages, more mandatory participation. From a business standpoint, it makes sense. From a human standpoint, I mean, we're seeing 10, 14 people not playing. That's backfire. Because if your top stars are physically breaking down, the long-term cost could outweigh the short-term revenue boost. What can we do about it, guys? What are the solutions? Reduce the number of mandatory 1000s. Shorten the overall season. Introduce protected rest windows. Rethink ranking penalty points. Enforce stronger medical protections for players. Even adding 2 protected off weeks for top players could change everything. So then they could have a week off one time when they need it and another week. Because right now the calendar feels relentless. The WTA is in tatters, but it's at a crossroads, and it has been for the last few years. The level of talent is incredible. It's more popular than ever. The competition when everyone plays is fierce. But if the best players aren't healthy enough to compete consistently, the foundation cracks. Dubai should be a showcase, like it has been in the past. Instead, it feels like a warning. If the schedule doesn't evolve, we're going to keep seeing this week after week after week. Not just in 1,000 tournaments, but in Grand Slams. People will still compete, but they'll retire mid-match due to injury, overwork, overplay. It's not good for the players, not for the fans, and not for the future of women's tennis. Guys, if you enjoyed this deeper tennis analysis into the WTA, please subscribe to this channel. We're going to do deep dives into the real conversations happening in the sport. And let me know in the comments, is the WTA schedule broken? Or is this just the modern game which we have to adapt to? Thank you guys. Take care. See you soon.